Hello, good evening and happy Wednesday. This evening I have been working on some tree decorations. You might have seen my post that I put out earlier today regarding the tree festival in our church just opposite here. And I've been trying to decorate the tree. I just went over today to see what the setup was, and there just a bit of confusion there with regards to whose tree was whose, and I'll go back tomorrow and on Friday morning to finish off. So I thought I'd share with you one of the items that one of my ladies, one of my customers has shared with me. Haven't done for long, I don't think I've done since Stampin' Up. So I thought that you might be interested to see that. So hopefully we'll have some people come on here live with me shortly. Just going to get up the camera. And why is the camera? There we go. And come on. Hi Shaz, you don't let me down, do you? So I'm, like I said, tree decorations. I'm a big recycler. I think you've all gathered that by now. I'm going to show you how to do a honeycomb tree decoration. Now, for this one, I wanted to have some items on the tree that were recycled. Hi, Carol. So this is, can anyone think where this is actually from? But this is a recycled honeycomb decoration, just with some ribbon. Today, as you can see, my fingers are inky, sorry. I have used the gold Simply Elegant trim. Hi Pam, and I've used some of the ribbons, but I couldn't find the shade I wanted, so this is some pre-Stampin' Up that I'm trying to use up. So this is a narrow ribbon, but I have got an alternative here for you. I don't know if it's still available. I haven't had time to log on to see, but this one here, this is another narrow ribbon that would work nicely if this is still available. This is in the winter catalogue, the seasonal catalogue, and it's this one here. So it's got this lovely copper coloured ribbon in here, and that's a nice fine one. And it's got the Hessian one here as well. Really nice. I've not used the Hessian one yet, but I did buy it for a purpose. But for today, I'm going to be using the retired one, and non-Stampin' Up one, and the Simply Elegant gold trim. Okay, anybody guess what this is made from? Okay, I've got two options to give you. I'm going to show you what I've done with this one first. Shaz, your demo. I know that demonstrators will recognise this. This is brown paper packaging that comes all scrumpled up. It has got perforation joins down them, so I try and avoid the perforations. In fact, they've come across top and bottom. And I use it to recycle. I use it for fire lighting. I do twists and I put them in a bag by the fire. So I use it for all sorts. But this was the first one I'd actually ironed to get most of the creases out. So we've got this one, which is how I've made this one here. Okay, but the actual honeycomb mechanism I wanted to show you, because with a punch it's really simple, and Gabby was the one who helped show me this the other day, what she'd been doing with, she'd used coffee filters. Excuse me, it's gone cold in here because my fire's gone out and I'm now feeling the chill. So big thick chunky jumper again. Yeah, brown paper. You can use any packaging, but this is what is our Stampin' Up brown paper. And I've ironed it. When I was ironing bedding a few days ago, I actually, or before the weekend, we had company. I actually ironed the brown paper at the same time. It is very strong brown paper, absolutely. So many uses. I've rewrapped customers' orders in them before and just tied it up with string. So it's really, really good. But I'm also going to show you another one. Now, I might get shouted at for this one. If any of you are protective of your books and you think mutilating a book is unheard of, then I will apologise now. This is one that I've had for a long, long while. You can see it was in a charity shop for £1, and I do recycle with pages. This is an old dictionary. Okay, there's so more up to date than this. It's a really, really ancient one. I don't know what date was on here, but it's a really ancient one. I've had it for a long, long while. You can see I've only used about not even 2/3 yet. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did with this one. I have cut some out already, but I was going to go with this punch. We had lots of punches. We've got lots of circular dies. This particular one is the 2 3/8 that was on the clearance rack. So I want to do 12 pieces, I think. So I'm going to do 3 at a time. And the only thing I will say I do here is to take off these margins, because you can't get to it otherwise with the punch. You want to use the punch further in. So this will actually get to the edges there. It doesn't matter if the edges are slightly over. And I punch out 3 at a time. And I'm going to go one either end. And I'm going to turn it round and do one in the middle. Okay, because then I can make sure I fit it all in. So these pieces here aren't really waste. They can be used for something else. Not sure what yet. I've not used this dictionary for a long while. Hi, Jean. So we're recycling tonight. This is my dictionary that I got from the charity shop. There are always dictionary books out there, but some people, I apologise, some people get very precious over books and think that they shouldn't be mutilated. Okay, they will end up somewhere, better in landfill, be recycled and reused, repurposed, rather than being in landfill. So that's 2 lots, isn't it? And that's the 3rd lot. But I'm doing 3 at a time, aren't I? Oh, I've lost count. So let me just do another set and we'll see where we go with it. Okay, I take these off just so I can get the punch nearer. Otherwise you'll end up with a big wodge of just the clear paper. Okay, so this one is softer. The brown paper is very strong, as Shaz has said. It's really tough. And it's good for wrapping gifts as well if you want to be au naturel. You could stamp on it. These will go in the fire, so that's good. I'll recycle those ones. The fire. Take this out of the way. And then I'm just going to bring these forward. I don't know how many I've got now. I think I've got the ones I punched earlier as well. So I've got a load. I'm going to bring over a sheet of... no, actually I'll do that at the end. I think I'll do it at the end. So these are just all circles, and all we're going to do with these is fold them in half. Okay, doing on the white surface, you should be able to see what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm not lining up the words. I don't care what the words are. Love the idea of pages from old books that are falling apart. I hadn't thought to use them, but will now. Absolutely, Wendy, definitely. It's, yeah. I mean, paperback books, they are, like, people don't tend to, I mean, how many people pass on books? I'm not a reader, so I'll just say that. I'm not really a book reader. I have to be physically busy. So I'm like in the car on long journeys. I was sewing, hand sewing. I will fussy cut in the car. On holiday, I can't just sit on the beach and fry and read a book like most people can. That's just not me. I have to be out and about and doing something. Sightseeing, etc. So I need 12 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I'm nearly there. Let's see. We'll do this and then we'll add up at the back end. So once we've done this, we're going to need our Tombow, and we're going to put some Tombow. How I found easier to do these was to come through the middle here, roughly the centre. Just wipe that. Got a little blob on the end there. So just come through the centre with a straight line down. Let me just zoom you in a bit, just a sec. So you can get a little bit closer. There we go. So I just came straight down the middle there, and I'm going to just hold that, just press that down. So if I do that with all of them, this is the easiest way to understand it, I think. So just stick the middles through like so. So don't go too close to the end, otherwise it will squirt out the end like it just did. So it doesn't matter what direction. Any of you do Kusarigama flowers? Because that might be one I do in the spring. Hi, Zena. Kusarigama flowers are another one. I've done those with old maps. So when you get a new atlas for the car, most of us now on electronic gadgets, and we're on sat navs and maps in our phones and things. We don't. Got some glue on there. Sorry. Just get the rubber and rub that. That might come off. Just because it's sticky. There we go. Yeah, most of us have sat navs and things. So the atlases, the maps that you were used to have in the cars, are very kind of few and far between, really. So those I've used. I've used those on moving home cards as well. You find the page that relates to where people are moving to. That's another idea for recycling. But yeah, the books are a really, really good one. Certainly better than, like I say, just get thrown in the bin. So, have any of you done this before? This is a honeycomb technique. If Gabby comes on, or she'll probably watch on replay actually, but if she comes on, she'll know that she showed me with coffee filters. But coffee filters you've still got to buy, haven't you? Whereas these, it's just recycling old books. So we're now going to build these up, make a little stack of them, because we've stuck the middles together. We're now going to be sticking the top and the bottom. So I like to go across at the top and the bottom like so, and place this one on the edge. Now, if I use my tweezers, my fingers will be out of the way. Okay, and I can get that lined up perfectly. Okay, and then the top and bottom on all of these. So we're going to come across that top section, come across the bottom section, bring my Tombow bottle on there, and then just lay them on top of each other. So you will have a seam with all the folds together. You've done it, Jeanette. Yeah, and Jean. Jean, who's just on there now. She's who was with me at the weekend on Sunday. Oh, there we go. Just go top and bottom. And I'm going to colour the edges on this one. My theme for the tree, because I planned it as soon as I knew, I'd planned it with the gold and the navy papers from the mini catalogue. And I'd been making some little decorations with those. I will share photos when it's gone live. On the Friday night is the launch, I think, the start, with mulled wine and mince pies. So I will share the finished article. Many of the things, yeah, the DSP, Carol, the DSPs are great. When I chose one, the gold and the vanilla and gold and navy one, the papers from the Shining Brightly, aren't they? Weren't they? They were white on the back, and that just wouldn't work. And there were some others that I looked at trying with, and you've got to have them in a colour coordinated fashion. And something, nothing goes to waste, Shaz. Some of them, when you get the fronts and the backs together, they just don't mix. So, you might have the brights on one and a muted on the back, but you might have a brown and then the reds, and it's just, for something like this, it just wouldn't work. So do just check your papers to see whether they're complementary or not. Okay, so I'm nearly there. And just top them and tail. And like I say, about 12, there's no set number. You just do it until you think you've got the size and the shape that you want. Okay, so that, as long as it's not too sticky, this will open out. I want to leave it just a few seconds longer actually, but when I open this out, when it's all set, it's actually going to come out like the herringbone. We'll tease the extra pages out a little bit, but can you see how that's all joined together? Oops, a little nearly off the camera. I've got two in there or one? No, that's just one. Can you see how that's all going to come round, and then you'll join the front to the back with the string down the centre. Okay, I just think that they're really, really cute. I had one here that I'd done earlier. That's not the one, is it? I had one with some, yeah. So this is one that I did earlier. Well, that just dries a little bit longer. This is one that I'd done in the brown paper packaging from the Stampin' Up boxes, the delivery boxes. I'm just looking on there, old maps. Yeah, any books. Charity shops are good places. You will always find some good material in charity shops. And then that helps the charity out, and it provides for you for crafting as well. Okay, so all I've got to do with this one is do my front and back together. But while it was all in one piece, I actually got my blending brush This is one I use for blues, and I've used the navy to pull the navy through for the theme of the tree. So I'll leave that there because we'll be using that shortly. So I've just gone along the edges of this, just sort of scrubbing it, left it loose so that the bristles here, it's not like a sponge, it's lots of little bristles, and the bristles will go down between those pages, if you like. So that's what we're going to end up doing with it. And I've been quite generous with the ink, so when I pull this one apart, you will be able to see that it's got all the edges, just tinged the edges with the navy, okay, because I started to come down the edge of the seam, okay. But that's one just to show you what it's going to look like, okay. So we're at that stage on this one now. I'm going to just do the with the blending brush. So I'm literally going to come over here and just try to pinch it in the middle so that the pages will flow freely. Get quite a generous covering on there, and just colour those edges. The bristles, each time you touch this, the bristles will go into different places, hopefully. Okay, I want them to fall apart so that we're not squeezing it so that it can't get in there. Okay, can you see how that's kind of going to work? You can do the edges, hold this end and go through there again. The top one's a little bit more. I'm going to get covered in ink again, so don't worry. So this is my bauble, and can you see, if I hold that up to the camera, can you see those edges? You can see the honeycomb coming out, and you can see how the blue is tinged on all of those edges. And because I've not been fussy as to which direction the papers are going, they're all over the place. It makes it a lot easier than trying to make sure they're all straight. Definitely don't think about it, just fold and go ahead with it. Okay, yes, Anne, very simple when you know how, but it's a really nice technique. Now I'm going to put some tape down the middle here. I was going to use my my tape, the stamp and seal, but I can't get it just down the seam, so I will try. No, it's not going to get, it's got to have a flat surface. So if I go down the edges here, this is actually too stiff. Okay, that's going to tear the paper because the paper's quite thin. So I have tear and tape, which is quite wide. You could actually take a length off that. Let's do it. I've got the red tape that I've had before. But if I just break a piece off that's going to be about the length that I want. Okay, I have done this before. When you want to make it narrower, you just take a big pair of scissors and cut into the centre and cut to the other end. Okay, and then you have half the width. So we can now put this on here. Okay, turn it over and put the other piece on the other side. Still stuck to my scissors. That's on this side. Okay, and then we're going to peel that off, and I'm going to put my cord or my ribbon, whatever I want, going down the middle of the bauble. Bone folder. So what we want to do is to burnish that on there because it's thin paper, so it is just trying to peel off the edge. It's stronger than tissue paper, it's not, but you know what I mean, a dictionary is quite thin pages. So we're going to pull that off, pop that in the bin. Now I'm going to take a length of my ribbon. Like I said, this is a really fine navy. I thought about the copper, but the copper's not really going to do it for me because everything's gold. And I don't want the copper to clash with the gold. So I think that that's kind of going to be the length that I want. Make sure that you leave enough space for the loop to hang from the tree. So I'm going to lay that across my ribbon. Okay, and again, I'm going to burnish that on there, like so. And once you've got your piece on there, you can just cut your tails off at the same length, like so. Those out of the way. Now I'm going to flip it over for the other side, and I'm going to take the tape off this side. Just kick it up. I could have got the pokey tool on the take your pick tool, but that's near and handy, so that will do. And then I like to make sure that it's flat when I come around, so it's not all twisted. And you're going to want the ends to be about level, fairly similar, and pop that along that side. Okay, so now we are ready to stick the front to the back. Reminds me a little bit of Hi, Claire. It reminds me a little bit of when we were kids and all the decorations we had were this type of decoration. You had bells and you had things that strung across the rooms, etc. But they were this kind of honeycomb effect. So what I'm now going to do here, we've left on a centerpiece there and a centerpiece there. So I'm going to, is that center? That's a center, that's a top and bottom. So, oh, maybe we need another one because we've ended up with a top and a bottom and a middle. A middle is there, top and bottom. That's a middle. We need to have it an odd number, don't we? So let's just do one more. I'm sure I did 12 before. Just going to do the edges on here as well. See if there's enough on here to do. That's not what I want to do on there, is it? Let's go a little bit stronger on there. I like the blending brush because it went through the page, it went through the leaves and did them all together. But this is just a piece of bath sponge that I use. You can use a sponge dauber. This is a bit softer. And just to make sure that those edges are fluffed so we haven't got any blank edges. You know, I like to use the bar sponges because they give like a little a softer feel than the the sponge daubers. So that's top and bottom. This has got to have a top and bottom. If we do a middle there, we have top and bottom there, and we'll have a middle. We're still going to end up in a middle because it's going to be an even number. So I think I'm just going to see which is going to look better. Because it's the top and bottom, I'm actually going to seal that together all the way round, I think. So let's put Tombow on here. These are really delicate pages. These are really thin. These are the thinnest ones that I've done. But by bringing the front and back together completely, okay, we can pinch those at the side. We'll actually get our equations right with the middle and the tops and bottoms. Okay, wherever you can get hold of it, just pinch them together. Okay, and there is our bauble, look, all opened out, and it works properly at the joins. Can you see that? So we've got 2 in there, just a little bit sticky because they're thinner. That's better. And there's our bauble. So, like I say, it's really simple. It's not a difficult one to do. So now to decorate it, I'm going to just tie a piece of the ribbon and the gold twine from here. Get that one out because it's not falling to pieces. There we go. So if anybody's looking for some really nice cheap lights, I actually found some really nice ones in Tesco's, the little tree lights. They can be for decorating anything. They reminded me a little bit of the wine bottle lights, but it's got a proper little battery pack. And they were so light and easy to use. It's really good. So what I'm doing here is using the 2 together. So I've got the narrow ribbon and I've got the gold thread. And I'm just going to tie them in a loop ready to go over the top. Like so. Get the ends out together. And there's my loop. I'm just going to fit that over the top here. Bit late tonight. You'll have to, oh, that's okay, Marilyn. You're not really late. It's never late because you can always see them again. So we're making a recycled bauble, or a Christmas tree bauble to hang on the tree, which has been used from recycled. So I'm going to cut this off here and I'm going to tie a bow. Now in the past I have done things like this and I've put beads on them at the top and bottom. Depends what colour beads you've got. If you've got beads that will match your project, your colours, etc. If you're using designer series paper, if they match your designer series paper. And what I'm just going to tell you actually, before I've done the half knot, what I'm going to do before I finish that is grab a mini glue dot. The gold and silver twine, the Simply Elegant trim, are really gorgeous, but it's a bit springy. And by springy, I mean once you tie a bow, it can come undone. It can just work itself loose quite easily. So I'm going to take one of these. I'm just going to push it along with my tweezers or pair of scissors or something and put that on the half knot in the middle there. So you'll end up with a bit of sticky glue dot, okay, on the middle of that knot. Make sure it's kind of in position. Then when you tie your bow on top, you can squeeze it tight and it will squeeze the jelly glue dot in the middle of your bow. Just try and keep it in the right place. I really could do with somebody to hold it while you tie the bow. So take my ends, so I've got a bunny ear there. I'm going to go round the loop, just like I used to tie my shoelaces when I was little. Ouch. Get my tweezers to pull them through because they're smaller than my hands. Okay, and just tease that through. There we go. So there's our loop. I'm going to squeeze this, pull this really, really tight. Shorten the bow if you wish. I like to leave the ends dangly. Okay, so it's just reshape your bow and make sure it's nice and tight on there, on the bottom. There we go. And there's our bow. There's our little dangly pieces at the bottom. And I hope that you like that. Can you see that without it rolling over? Can you see that all together like so? There we go. Hi from Anne from New Zealand. I don't think I've had anyone from New Zealand before. I've had Australia and America. Yeah, nice to welcome. I'm live on here every Wednesday at 9 o'clock UK time, so this time, and on Sunday nights at 8. Okay, so that's twice a week. And it goes to Facebook and YouTube, so whichever you pick up on. We've got some of each on here, I can see, so it's good. So, some comments on what you think of this one. And because we've got a bit of time, I might just make this one up as well. So this is a bit thicker paper, so it's thicker to hold here. It's got more substance to it. So I'm going to do the same with my tape. I'm going to take a length of that to the length of the middle, sort of like of the doodah, the bauble. And we're going to cut up the middle of the tape, tear and tape. In fact, if you lay it on your scissors, that might be easier. Lay it on a scissor blade if you can and just cut along the middle. There we go. The other thing you could do is put it onto a piece of acetate and use the acetate so it can hang off the edges, and then it'll peel off easily as well. I'm just going to do that top and bottom on there. Okay, grab another length of ribbon, buried. So let's go for roughly what we did last time. There's no set measurements really on here, so just cut that off there. Okay, if I do this part way, I could actually send this to somebody who'd like to have a bauble in the post. Oh, you watch me on YouTube, but you can actually comment on there as well. So the only thing with YouTube is I haven't got my program I use is brilliant, my streaming device, but I can't see the comments afterwards on YouTube. So that's another one for me to delve into having a look at some point. So I won't peel this off. I can peel it off the other side, but I won't assemble it together. Okay. So who would like a closer look at this and like to have one of these? UK is easier because of the postage, I'm afraid, Anne. Our postage now has gone up really silly. And Christmas, I'm hearing a lot of people say how Christmas cards are really getting expensive. The post. Mine are nearly ready to send out. Okay, so there it is. All you've got to do is just adhere that front to back. In fact, if I put some tape on there, then I can show that that's where the tape goes. You could, if you wanted to, use your tear and tape on here because it's a bit stronger than the dictionary pages. There we go. So there's a good lot on there, and then you just peel that off and then adhere it back together, and then tie a bow at the top, and you're done. So I will take a length of that and cut that off, and a length of the, actually silver, if you weren't doing my tree, the silver would go there nicely actually. Thought I had one of these started. Maybe we'll stick to the gold because we've got an end. But blue and silver do go nicely together, don't they? So there we go. Tie those together, and that can be winging its way to sit. So I'll pop it in a random order. I think that'll be easiest. So just a random little net like that, and you'll be able to make one of these, just finish it off so you can see how it's done. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Just something a little bit out of the ordinary, a little bit different. Okay, and I'll bring you back to me. Just take that off and bring you across. Now, before I go, we have got free shipping. I'll put the graphic up shortly, but I waited until I came on live tonight. Stampin' Up is doing free shipping. Now, we had one of these recently. It is a minimum of £60 spend. You won't guarantee by delivery by Christmas, but if you want me to put them through for you, then that's fine, I can do that. But if it's over £60, you can actually get that shipped to yourselves for free, so it'll be direct shipping, okay, even if you're local to me, so that will get it to you quicker. Okay, the only thing I will say, that if it's things in the annual catalogue that you're looking to purchase, just for the sake of free shipping, if you wait until the 4th of January, we have got Celebration. So Celebration will mean that with every £45, you get a freebie, a free item from the mini catalogue. I have them here. I think I showed you the other day. We have the mini catalogue. This one is the mini one that's replacing the Christmassy one, the autumn winter catalogue. And then this one is the Celebration, and this will be free items. So just bear in mind, I've got several people have been really hooked onto the cracker die now because of what I've been doing with the projects I've been doing with it. But because it's annual catalogue, it's here till the end of the annual catalogue, or until it sells out nearer the end. So just be mindful of that. The Celebration, you can pick a stamp set, a whole pad of a pack of paper, and there's some of the higher value ones you can get dies in there as well. And an embossing folder with one of them. So just bear that in mind. So the free shipping is great if you've got a £60 order and you need to put that through now. If not, and it's annual catalogue, then wait until January and get your free Celebration instead. So okay, you've got two options there. Okay, so hopefully that was all helpful. I will put the graphic up so that you know. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'll put the tag in as well to click to go and have a look at the clearance rack. When we had the last chance items, several things have already run out, but if the last chance, the clearance rack will be worth looking at. So anything that is available for purchase can count towards that £60. It hasn't just got to be out of any particular catalogue. So that's really good, and yes, definitely a saving if you wish to do that. Okay, so I will be sharing photos later on after the Friday night launch of the tree festival, and some photos of the tree and what it before and after. Okay, so yeah, join me for that, and don't forget to, if you can like and subscribe to YouTube and like my Facebook page, really appreciate it.